Exciting time. Am I breaking the fourth wall or not? Am I over here?
Are we breaking the wall?
I don't know. Maybe if we have something poignant to say, we can talk right into the camera. You guys,
Perfect.
It's Ayesha Curry. How exciting is this, right? She's like, stop. No, seriously, though. When people call you the first lady of the Bay, like, how does that make you feel?
That's weird.
Is it weird?
Yes, it's weird. But you know what? That's something... I feel like I'm called a lot of things, and like there's a lot of things put on our family, but I think
Sure.
that's one that we're like honored to be called.
Sure. It feels weird coming out of my mouth because
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, you guys are so down to earth, right? And
Thank you.
I've met your sister-in-law, Sidel. I want
Yes.
to talk about the wine thing maybe if we have the time.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But so saying something so regal like that, but it's
weird.
fitting because
But it is fitting because the Bay is really chill, right?
Right.
So we'd be happy to be the chill.
the
first-
ambassadors of chill.
Yeah, why not?
I love that. I want to get into why we're here. We're representing for the Raphael House.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. What does it mean to you?
You know, it's so awesome. Stephen and I actually just, after years of figuring out and honing in on exactly what it was we wanted to do for this community that we
Sure.
love so much, we finally nailed it down to, obviously my main thing is food. His is sports, and then in between there's education. And
Right.
so for us being able to, partner with somebody like, to be able to partner with a place like Raphael's House,
Yeah.
who's bringing in these amazing families who just need a little bit of help.
Yeah.
They need a place, an in-between place, I think is so special. And so they bring in these families. They make sure they're fed. The kids have after-school art programs.
Mm-hmm.
It's really incredible. And so it's really nurturing the whole home.
Sure.
It encompasses everything. And so I love that we're able to, today specifically, bring in the kids after school here, do a little art project.
We're going to be painting a mural.
We're gonna be
You can't
painting
see
a
it. It's off
mural.
camera, but it's going to be pretty awesome. We're sitting here at International Smoke.
Yeah, so the kids actually you saw some of the kids
Yeah.
just walked in behind, but they're going to be painting this mural. Usually it takes place, in their after-school programs, but
Right.
we're bringing them in here, so it's a little excursion.
Sure.
And we're going to paint and just bring a little color into the space, and of course we'll have some food for everybody, and just,
What I love about Raphael House is the fact that it's the thought that everybody needs a little help sometimes.
Absolutely.
And they have a 85% success rate of taking people who, for all intents and purposes, are homeless and putting them back into society and giving them
Yeah.
that little push, right?
Yeah, it's important. It really does take a village, and Raphael House is, a village for
Right.
a lot of families.
Right.
And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Sure. Let's talk about the restaurant, because in this arena, you're kind of my hero, because you have this restaurant, you got several locations with no formal culinary experience.
No, yeah.
And that blows me away.
I'm all heart and grit.
Yeah. How do you do something like that?
You know what? It comes down to great partnerships.
Sure.
And finding somebody who believes in your vision. And for me, I'll never forget, like, the first time that I met Chef Michael Mina, and we just connected on a level of our love for food.
How did you meet him? Was it at a party or a cocktail?
At 252. So at his actual Michael Mina restaurant, his Michelin restaurant. I was there after a meeting with some ladies from Williams-Sonoma.
Okay.
And they wanted to take me there, and he happened to be there, and I had to pick his brain and just figure out how he got from, the point of saying I want to be in food to becoming this, incredibly acclaimed, award-winning chef.
With so many spots. Now, did you
many spots.
Did you have the International Smoke concept already in your head?
No, so this is something we came up with together after about 2 years. 2 years.
Right.
We, the reason why I love food so much is family. I
Right.
feel like it's a vessel for communication and for, setting the foundation for good relationships. And so we said, what's more family than a barbecue, right?
Right.
Like, no matter where you go in the world, every country, every city has their own version of what a family barbecue looks like.
Somebody's working the grill. At
Yeah,
all times.
yeah, working the grill. That's what it's really about. Barbecuing is grilling. And so people also have their different methods. And so we said, why not put this place together where we can showcase all of the different methods from around the world
Sure.
and create a safe space for people to come and eat and enjoy and laugh and carry on you'll notice like the music is loud, the drinks are flowing, and the food is always coming out. So I feel like that's the environment we wanted to create, and I think we've been successful thus far.
How did you feel when this place first opened up? How did that make you feel?
Crazy. Like a crazy person. I still actually can't wrap my head around it. Like when I walk in here, I sort of tend to walk in as if I'm like a guest coming in to dine.
Right.
Still, I don't realize that that this is my restaurant, and that's like I don't know if that will ever set in. I'm always ready to get to work, but
do people flip out when you come in, like the staff more, or the
the staff? I feel like we're all like family.
Sure.
Maybe when I come in and there's some new staff that I haven't quite met yet, but everybody's like family. But when I come in, especially on like a pop-in night,
right,
which is every night
here at International Smoke.
But people do get excited, and there's always some sort of celebration going on, whether it's an anniversary or birthday. So I love being here for those types of things.
I get it. So our podcast on iHeartRadio is going to be called Feed Me, the stories behind the story of food.
Cool. Yeah.
So we want to hear the story. So I would ask you, with the overall theme, my personal theme for food is that food is love.
Yeah.
I do all the cooking in my house 90% of the time. For my wife, I have a 4-year-old daughter. She's also my nail tech. And
Aww.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
You know,
I love it.
Can you see these nails?
Oh my
God. She looked at me. She goes, "Daddy, I want to paint your nails." And you can't say no to that. You can't. And the sparkle. She's gonna make them sparkly.
Looks familiar, I gotta tell you.
I'm sure you've never seen this before.
Never.
But with food being love, like, tell me a story of like, what's your go-to meal? Like, how did you hook Steph with? What was the first meal where you were like, I'm gonna make this and it's gonna be on?
Actually, I do remember the first ever meal that I made for him. He was at my house. My parents were out of town.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
I was 19, and it was actually the day that he asked me to be his girlfriend.
He asked you to go study?
The day he asked me to go study.
So old school. I love it.
Yeah, no, we were like traditional in all of the sense. Like he literally went out onto my parents' porch and like had prayer with himself to figure out if it was the right decision.
You know what they do in 2019?
That guy's the real deal.
You know who your boyfriend is in 2019? It's the guy that doesn't ghost on you too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love this. Please continue. So there you are. You're at your parents' house.
So we're at my parents' house. I made lemon roasted chicken quarters, and I used this seasoning called Southern seasoning. Still couldn't tell you what's in it.
Can you buy this?
You can still buy it on Amazon, I believe.
All right.
It's charcoal gray color. And I like coated the chicken quarters in this seasoning. First of all, the seasoning's bomb, but it looks like a lump of coal.
Mm-hmm.
But he loved it. He ate every bit of it. I think I did roasted potatoes. We had chai tea lattes because that was our thing. And what did I make for dessert? I did something that I can't remember.
And at that moment,
I can't remember, but the roasted chicken quarters.
Then the Lord spoke to him and said, "This is the moment. This is the lady."
Well, no. This was like the meal after.
Oh.
After we'd solidified the relationship, so.
And with regard, do you have the girls in the kitchen on a fairly regular basis?
All the time.
How often do you get to cook at home?
You know, I try and do like, I would say it averages like four nights a week these days. Mm-hmm. Breakfast almost every morning.
Okay.
When I'm home. And then lunch, we kind of just figure it out.
Are they like really finicky? Like my daughter, really? The list is short at my house. I'm going to need some, offline, I'm going to need some suggestions.
They're not perfect. I mean, we have our days, but I will say, I feel like I've nurtured their appetites and their palates from the day they started eating solids.
I tried, but I think my daughter likes to torture me.
You think she likes what?
She likes to torture me. By
Kids do that,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what do they like to cook?
Everything.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I say this all the time, but there are countless studies that show that if you cook with your children, they're more apt to try whatever it is they've had a hand in making. And so I encourage everybody at home, like, cook with them. 99% of the time, I guarantee you they're going to try it. So I try and get them in there as often as I can.
I do this move where I go, "Baby, come taste the sauce." And then she goes, Daddy, it needs to be a little sweeter, or Daddy needs a little more salt.
That's smart.
And then that's ownership.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you put it on the table. You said you liked it.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep.
This is going to be an amazing event. I'm so happy
Thank
for
you.
you.
Thank
What
you.
else do you have on the horizon that we need to remote talk about?
Well, speaking of, children's eating habits
Yeah.
and things like that, my meal kits relaunch here in the Bay Area first on April 16th at Whole Foods.
Okay.
So all the meal kits, they're great because they're 30 minutes or less. Very
for the
affordable. Yeah, perfect for the weeknight. And then on weekends and the occasional weeknight, you come here to International Smoke. And then also, I have a baby food line launching soon that goes hand in hand with the meal kits.
What's it going to be called? Do you know?
It's homemade, baby.
It's all- okay.
it's all homemade. And it's great because I love incorporating things like turmeric and pink peppercorn
Sure.
and thyme and like fresh
Interesting
herbs
things.
into the baby food. So it's not. You should want to eat it too. I don't think you should give your baby anything that you wouldn't want to eat
Right.
yourself.
You season it the way that you
Yeah.
would eat it. That way
Yeah.
everybody's eating the same thing.
Yeah.
Last question, and this is for all the moms out there that are maybe they got a job or 2 jobs, or in the Bay you have 3 jobs. You're a lady with a lot of jobs. You wear a lot of hats. Give me like a couple pieces of advice if I'm trying to rock a career and kids at the same time.
So I would say, especially for the mamas out there, I would say to know that nobody has it all together. Like we're all just trying to get by and running around like chickens with our heads cut off. There's never going to be a perfect day, and I think like I found peace in knowing that was okay and that I'm not alone. And there's always going to be some sort of stress. I try and take like a good 5-6 deep breaths and keep it moving. Honestly, I find the busier I keep myself, the less I realize the annoying things in life. So,
Do you ever take 10 minutes for self-care? And in that 10 minutes, what would you do?
I mean, some days.
Like for my wife, it's a shower.
I mean, yeah,
You know?
exactly, exactly. But these days, my girls, they're like in the shower with me.
Yeah.
Or like sitting on the floor while I'm using the toilet. Sorry, that's very personal.
No,
but it's
that's
true.
real talk.
It's
That's
true.
what that is.
But when I do get 10 minutes, it's usually a switch off, right? When Stephen gets home, I switch off and I'm like, I'm going to take a bath. I'll be back. So like, I love a good like bubble bath. I'm a bath girl.
Inside, like Steph Curry, one of the greatest basketball players in the world, but inside his 4 walls, is it one of those situations where he's just the guy that needs to take out the trash?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you roll.
Oh, yeah. And we've actually had like our close family and friends know, but we've had like some distant family and friends or distant friends at our house every now and then, and I'll be nagging him for something that's like, like the trash is overflowing, like take out the trash before you go to practice, and they look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, what? You think he's gonna get a pass because he plays basketball? No, sir. He's gonna take out the trash and then he's gonna go to practice, just the way I'm gonna pack the girls' school lunches in the morning. And make sure and take them to school.
That's
so,
a
like,
good woman right there.
It's all about balance.
Yeah.
Like we if there's any place we keep it normal, it's in our home. Like
That's what wives do.
If I'm not the one yelling at him, then nobody's yelling at him,
Yeah.
and then he's not human anymore. So like, if you're watching this, Steph and I will always yell at you.
On the way out, I told my wife, I said, I'm going to be going to interview Ayesha Curry. Remember when we went to the restaurant and Chef Mina's going to be there? And she looked and she goes, cool. She said, tell her I said happy birthday. That was her first thing.
You.
And then she looked at me, she goes, can you do me a favor and drop those 3 bags off at the mom swap on your way out? And I was like, yeah, no problem, baby. I
Yep.
believe that's the last thing I said.
And life goes on,
And life
right?
goes on. Thanks for your time.
Thank you
Have
so
a great time
much.
tonight. Ayesha
Thank
Curry,
you.
the queen of the Bay, right here. There it is again. Sorry.